While it is not news that Herpa has issues making nice-looking 737 MAX models, this time they have been a bit creative in creating a new issue. And thanks to the good prices and service of the FMB shop, I've been able to get this aircraft model so you can take a closer look at it and make an informed decision whether to buy or not to buy it. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 737 MAX8 of American Airlines. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the American Airlines branding. A place where Herpa definitely has not been creative is with the box design on the backside. Here we have another cutout which does not protect my aircraft model and simply looks quite lazy. Poor box design from Herpa Wings, but they just won't change. And here she is, the Boeing 737 MAX8 in the current standard livery of American Airlines. And this is indeed the very first aircraft model of a MAX in the American Airlines livery. So I am very curious to see how Herpa has managed to execute that model. And the best way to find out is simply by taking a closer look. And as always, we start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the American Airlines branding. Then on the fuselage we find the flag of the United States of America, the full registration code of the aircraft, and an internal registration code of the airline. On top of the fuselage we then also find the addition of a set dome, although I would say that this is somewhat too large in my opinion. And then towards the very tail of the aircraft we do also find a bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. Then at the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we find the writing of American Airlines and the American Airlines branding. We do also have some static ports, and next to the front cabin door we have a little one-word logo of which American Airlines is a founding member. The cockpit section itself offers us the cockpit windows with the window wipers, and that's it. The addition of a few petrol tubes in the print here would have done the aircraft wonders. The engine nacelles have the same grey color as the fuselage and have the silver leading edge printed on. However, Herpa has forgotten the safety relevant markings here, which I find very disappointing when we consider the retail price of this aircraft model being 28 euros. At least the physical detailing of the engines has been pulled off nicely, with the chevron nozzles looking awesome, and also when we look into the front we can very nicely see the engine fan blades. On the fuselage just above the wings we have the emergency exits printed on, which leads us straight to the wings, which we should definitely also take a closer look at, starting off with the top side, where we can see the different flap slats and spoilers have been carved out very nicely, and we also have the markings for the emergency exit printed on. The underside of the wings then offers us some more nice physical detailing, and of course the wings of the 737 MAX also have these winglets, which in my opinion still are too bulky, but perhaps not quite as bad as the very early 737 MAX models from Herpa Wings. And then we can move on to the landing gear. That is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their 737 MAX models. On its own it doesn't look too bad, but of course is massively too tall, but Herpa won't fix that because they don't care. And the same thing goes for the front landing gear, which of course is also missing some printed details. And then last but not least we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 737 MAX8 in the current standard livery of American Airlines from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500, and what can we say about this aircraft model? On first glimpse it does appear like we have yet another standard 737 MAX model from Herpa Wings with all the typical issues, so the slightly too bulky winglets, the massively too tall landing gear, and in this case also a slightly oversized set dome, all not unusual for Herpa Wings. But there is one more point where Herpa has been quite creative. You see, Herpa has been quite creative with the placement of the horizontal stabilizers. If we compare this aircraft model with another 737 MAX, in this case a 737 MAX8 of United Airlines, you will see it's not that different, perhaps a little bit more angled on the American Airlines model, but overall it is pretty much the same. However, that is more down to the fact that the guys from the FMB shop were so kind to send me an aircraft model which was not quite as affected as others, because we have to consider most if not all of this production batch of the 737 737 MAX 8 in the American Airlines livery to have an issue with the horizontal stabilizer. So you definitely need to check that before you buy it so you can be happy with your model. So with the latest failing of Herpa's quality control, it is time to end today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.